Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Well, hey there, this is Lawrence from Mountain Man Gourmet, and today we're going to talk about some really interesting techniques for cooking your food. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about is this really unique piece of modern art. I have no freaking idea what the heck this thing is, but it's one of the pictures in my hard drive in my phone, and I thought it was a picture of something I was going to talk about. I think I might have accidentally snapped something. I don't know. Looks like the inside of my nose or something. Who knows what the heck that is? Oh, there we go. That's a little better. There we got some red chili and some green chili. Now, in New Mexico, it's really important to know certain things before you go to a restaurant so that you don't become embarrassed and people might figure out that you're not a local. Now, here's the deal. They're going to figure it out anyway, but you can pretend that you're a local by realizing this difference. Now, here what we've got on the top is something called red chili. Now, whenever you find red chili, it's usually red chili mixed with something else, right? So, for example, it might have some garlic in it, or might have some onion, might have some other kind of flavors to bring out the best of the red chili. And every family, every person has their own secret recipe. Now, that above that bowl in the top is my version of New Mexico red chili. I call it Rowdy Red. I've got another version called Rambunctious Red and another one called Randy Red. So those are my three takes on red chili, New Mexico style, but with a little bit of an extra oomph added. Okay, the bottom bowl is green chili, and this particular bowl is filled with something called go-go green chili. And go-go green chili, if you're not familiar already, is our Mountain Man Gourmet brand of a green chili spice blend. And it's really tasty. It's not hot and gonna make you sweat or cry or burn your lips or anything. Don't worry. Just has a nice mild to medium green chili flavor, and just gives a really nice touch to any of your food items. Pretty much any savory items, such as chicken, whether you're gonna fry it or you just did, or you're gonna bake it and you just did, you need a little seasoning on it. Broil it, cast iron pan, grill it, whatever you're gonna do. Put a little bit on beforehand and put some on after. Now, one thing to remember, all 95% anyway, of Mountain Man Gourmet products are low sodium, meaning we put as little salt as possible so that you get the maximum flavor and the maximum value from each bottle or packet of spice mix or blend or rub that you get from us. But at the same time, we want it to taste good right out of the box, right? However, we all realize that there's some people who have a palate which demands a little bit more salt or sodium. So we try to kind of bridge it in the middle, somewhere probably toward the lower end of the middle, lower third. And then if you need it or want it to come up a little bit, just grab a few flakes of kosher salt and squish them between your fingers, sprinkle it on top of your food item, whatever it may happen to be, and there you go. Okay. All right, let's see what our next picture is. Oh, look at that. That's a beautiful close-up of some of our go-go green chili. And that's it right there in a bowl, ready to be packed up into bottles or created into a dip mix or a soup mix, or by adding some extra ingredients, might end up being a dry rub or who knows what. But there's a cool little artistic picture there. All right, and there's a little close-up of our Rowdy Red. All right, so of course I have secret ingredients in there that I can't tell you about, but there's your New Mexico red chili. There's some onion and garlic flakes. There's a little bit of cumin or cumin or comino, however you want to call it. And it's interesting, when I made this recipe, I was kind of going for more of a Middle Eastern touch, but with a little tiny hint of the New Mexico red chili. However, what I found is, being out here in the Southwest, people from Colorado and Arizona and New Mexico, uh, West Texas Plains, all those people who are familiar with the red chili taste, they just say, oh yeah, you got any more of that red chili rub? And for them, it's just like home. I was trying to go for a little more Mediterranean, Turkey, Greece, Cyprus, Lebanon kind of area, kind of a taste. It didn't quite work that way, but that's okay. I've got lots of other stuff up my sleeve, and I'm going to keep going. One of these days, I'm going to be able to tell you how to make an Adana kebab, which I first had as a child, 11 years old, in Adana, Turkey. Adana has, if I can remember correctly, that's how they say it. However, they had a wonderful dish there. It was a ground lamb, grilled on skewers, and of course marinated or had some spices. Then they would serve it on a fresh, warm pita bread type bread, and then you would get some chopped up parsley with tomatoes and onions and some fresh lemon slices to squeeze on top. Think maybe you could also get some kind of a yogurt dressing on the side. I'm trying to remember, but those were the main ingredients, and it was a great, great, great afternoon snack or meal or whatever. All right, so that's kind of what it looks like once we put it in the bag, and this is before I mix it. And what's going to happen here is we're going to mix the red and the green, and we're going to call it Christmas. And that's what they do here in New Mexico. They call it Christmas. So right now it's late at night. I'll explain what that means another time. I'm really sleepy and thirsty. I hear some water. Sometimes at night I tend to whistle a little bit when I talk, and the water helps a lot. Let me have a little more. All right, so there's a picture of our New Mexico Christmas before mixing. That's a really terrible picture. Guess what we're going to do with that? We're just going to delete it. Okay, bye-bye. Let's see what comes up next. Ooh, that's kind of cool. It's not a very clear picture, but looks kind of cool. Huh. All right, so I guess the best quality picture of the blend was this one right here. That one's kind of artistic, but make an interesting wall painting. Anyway, So that's that. But look for New Mexico Christmas. We're going to have, well, actually, I've sold it the last 4 weekends now and have sold out every single weekend. So I think it's a pretty popular flavor. I'm really glad that people like my food. I'm very blessed that people like my spices and like the food that I make with them. So, anyway, thank you. If you have already purchased some, if you haven't, please go to my website, mountainmangourmet.com. You can also purchase directly off my Facebook page, Lawrence Clark Mountain Man Gourmet. And of course, you can go to my Shopify store, but just click on my website, mountainmangourmet.com, and then click the shop button, and it'll take you to my Shopify store. Alrighty, thank you so much for being here. I hope you had an interesting time learning about whatever I talked about, and hope you come back. I'll see you soon. This is Lawrence saying, live well, eat well, and be happy.